Hello members, here we are for another episode of GPL 360. Welcome. We're going to alter the order this week and lead off with the women's GPL. Welcome Nick, good to see you.
Thanks Matt, always a pleasure to be on GPL 360.
Starting with round 6, we had the QTs 113 versus the Fairway Fillies 103. Top scores for the QTs was Adeline Roberts with 32 and Janita Monahan with 31 was the best score for the Fairway Fillies. The undefeated Swingers took on the Q Ramblers in round 6 with the Swingers winning 125 versus 112. Di Grail kept a good form going with 35 and Karen Hill 31 for the Q Ramblers. Other matches, we had a tie. The Pearlers 94 versus the Go Girls 94. The Iron Ladies got over the bye 109 to 93s. Silver Foxes, a low scoring match, but Silver Foxes got over in a thriller 95 to 94 against the Q Birdies. The Birdie Num Nums couldn't quite get the job done against Hit and Miss, who are currently running second on the table, 123 Hit and Miss to 109. And the Early Birds 123 had a convincing win over the Derwents 94. In the Survivor Series, knocked out this week was the Q Birdies with 94, couldn't field a side. Coffee Vouchers, which is a new initiative for the GPL Women's, was the Swingers with 125.
No surprises there that Swingers get the first coffee voucher.
Yep.
Round 7. Come on, hit this. Featured match of round 7, we had the Fairway Fillies defeat the Silver Foxes 103 to 95. Top score for the Silver Foxes, Gail Feller. She's been pretty solid this season, especially the last couple of rounds, doing a lot of the legwork for the Foxes. And Janita Monahan, top score for the Fairway Fillies 103.
2 rounds in a row for Janita.
She's on fire. And we had the Early Birds 123 defeat the Q Ramblers 112. Hilary Hodgetts 33, Jenny Danks 32 for the Early Birds, and for the Ramblers, Karen Hill had 31.
Also 2 weeks in a row.
Also 2 weeks in a row. I think that's because it was the double header this week, Matt. So we're possibly reading out the same score twice.
There you go.
I think that's why. The Pearlers actually had no one play this week, which was good because they played the bye, so they had a win there. The Go Girls and the QBs had a 94-all draw. Iron Ladies 109 defeated the Derwents 94. I'm pretty sure the double header was played in absolutely terrible conditions, man.
Right.
That's why we're seeing such low scores.
Makes sense.
And Hit and Miss 123 defeated the QTs, and the Swingers 125 defeated the Num Nums 109. Knocked out with the Silver Foxes with 95. They had a torrid day with the top score, as I said, Gail Feller. And the Early Birds got the coffee vouchers on a countback from Hit and Miss.
Very good. Moving on to round 8. We had the Silver Foxes 135, couldn't get over the line against the hot team in the competition at the moment, Hit and Miss with 147.
Massive score.
Big score. Gail Feller with 39 was the best for the Silver Foxes, and Meredith Durry with 40 points was the best for Hit and Miss. Some other notable mentions in that round was Bev Murray, 39 points, and Roz Nickel also had 37 points for Hit and Miss. Next game was the Early Birds versus the Birdie Num Nums, with the Early Birds 135 over the Birdie Num Nums 121. Joe Warmold for the Early Birds 36 points, and Hilary Hodgetts with 35 points. Birdie Num Nums was Sue Hughes with 32 and Jane Blythe also with 32. In the other matches, the Pearlers 109 were defeated by the Q Birdies 128. Go Girls 109 were defeated by the Fairway Fillies, another good score, 136. Iron Ladies 113 were defeated by the Q Ramblers 125. Swingers kept their undefeated season going with 138 versus the QTs 109, and the Derwents had the bye. Knocked out in round 8 was the Q Birdies with 128. Only 3 of their team played, and still a reasonable score. Coffee vouchers in the second week that this has been going for the coffee vouchers was Hit and Miss with a great score of 147.
On to the ladder. No surprises, Matt. Your team, the Swingers, versus my team, the Hit and Miss. First and second. Swingers, as we've said, undefeated.
Yep.
Hit and Miss have only had the 1 loss.
Yep.
3 and 4, no surprises, the Early Birds and the Fairway Fillies. Matt, I was just doing a bit of analysis of the ladder, going in depth, and I've just noticed that the Birdie Num Nums, while they are last year's champions, they are sitting 10th, 3 wins and 5 losses.
Yep.
That being said, they have had the most points scored against them with 1,019. So the Birdie Num Nums could have if they've got a good fixture ahead of them, they could have a strong finish to the season.
Only 2 games out of the top 4, so still a chance.
Definitely. And the Early Birds and the Fairway Phillies, who are both 3rd and 4th, had the 2nd and 3rd least points scored against them. So are they overachieving, or have they just had a good fixture?
Good draw.
Or are they just a good team?
Possibly.
We'll find out towards the end of the season. Survivor Cup, Matt. We've got 6 teams left in the women's. Can you take us through them?
Yep, so we've got the Birdie Num Nums, the Fairway Phillies, Hit and Miss, the Early Birds, the Iron Ladies, and the Swingers all left in the Survivor Cup.
4 of those teams, obviously top 4 on the ladder, so that's no surprises.
Yes.
With the other 2 inclusions, we've got the Iron Ladies, and we just spoke about the Num Nums. Both those teams have been scoring quite well, but have had tough fixtures, hence why their ladder position is so low, but they are still in the Team Survivor.
Yep, sure.
Matt, do you want to take us through who's hot?
Yep, so who's hot in the last 3 rounds? We had, last 2 rounds, we had Hilary Hodgetts from the Early Birds with scores of 33 and 35. Anne Manuel from the Swingers, 32 and a great score of 40. Susan Hughes from the Num Nums, 32 and 32 was a top score both weeks for her team. And Gail Feller with 27 and 39 from the Silver Foxes. Well done.
Well done. Well, that concludes the women, and we'll move on to the men's match.
Yep.
Round 7 of the men, our featured match were the Fockers, 129 defeating the Moondogs by 1 point. Jeff Pember, 33, Peter Luton, 33, and for the Moondogs we had John Carroll doing his best with 36. Motley Hugh handed the Polishers their 2nd loss of the season. Bruce Deef and Michael Pickering both did the damage with 37 points, whilst Brendan Moore and Phil Abbott had 36 and 35 respectively. The Guzzlers, 136, defeated the Good, Bad and the Ugly, 126. Once Were Legends lost to Norfolk and Good, who were putting together a nice little season. The Rat Pack, 135, defeated Hard Yakka convincingly. And so, good news story here, Matt. The Gunners had their first win of the season.
Stop it.
126 to 116, defeating the Gentlemen Golfers.
Wow.
And finally, the latecomers are starting to make their move up the ladder, which John Evans did say they would a couple of episodes ago, defeating KGC Elite by 16 points, and they are knocked out of the Survivor Cup.
Moving on to round 8, we had the Rat Pack, who are currently on top of the ladder versus the Fockers. The Rat Pack couldn't quite get over the line, 126. Great win by the Fockers, who are currently sitting just outside the finals with 129. For the Rat Pack, Brian Fuge, great score, 38. And our manager of pennant, Jim Pitt, 31. The Fockers, we had Bruce Falconer with 35 and Peter Lutton also with 35. Second match, Motley Q versus Norfolk in Good. We had the best score of the round with Norfolk in Good, 140, with Jim Lutis, 42 points, and Dave O'Callaghan with 35. Motley Q, we had Andrew Williams, 37, and Ian Tinley, 31. In the other matches, the Policies, last year's champs, 133, got over the Good, the Bad, the Ugly, 124. The Guzzlers, my side, 113, comfortably beaten by Hard Yakka, 123. Once Were Legends, 115. Were also comfortably beaten by the Gentlemen Golfers, 133. The Gunners, 127, and the latecomers, 137, got over the line there. And the Moondogs couldn't quite beat KGC Elite, 109 to 104. Knocked out was the Guzzlers in round 8, so they've got to do something in the normal premiership season.
Now, Matt, I noticed you picked the Swingers as your team in the women, and then you've gone for a team such as the Guzzlers in the men. Is that just to kind of balance it out?
It is.
A quality team.
We've gone, we've gone for elite and sort of rubble, really. So, I don't want to be exclusive.
But, fair enough. Round 9 of the men, the Guzzlers just giving them a massive canning, and they've come out 142.
That's what we do.
Defeating the Fockers. Sam Connellan, 39. Terry Poulton, 36 star for the Guzzlers, and for the Fockers, Barry Donnelly, 36, and Matt English, 35.
Just with the Guzzlers, I have noticed, Nick, over the last couple of weeks, John Nelson hasn't mentioned.
Haven't read that name yet.
Could come up later.
Yeah, I think you might. In the next match, we had the Moondogs. Ray Kennedy starred with 41 points, and Paul Williams had 34 points. Helped them defeat the Gunners by 7 points. Chris Smoot, who we gave a bit of a wrap up in the earlier shows to lift, has finally top scored for the Gunners with 36 points, which is good.
We knew it was coming.
Yes, eventually. Alan Vipon had 33 points as well. The Polishers defeated Norfolk and Good, which is a bit of a reality check for them. The Good, Bad and Ugly surprise win there, defeated Hard Yakka. Motley Q, 140, defeated the Gentlemen Golfers. Latecomers still just travelling along quite nicely and have jumped into 6th position, defeated Once Were Legends. And the Rat Pack were too good for KGC Elite, and knocked out this week were Hard Yakka.
It's interesting, Hard Yakka, who were on top of the premiership table after last year at the end of the season. They've lost 2 of the last 3 and starting to slide.
Starting just a few injuries piling up perhaps, a few overseas journeys.
Yeah,
it's just struggling.
It is struggling. Looking at the ladder, we have the Rat Pack and the Polishers on 7 wins and 2 losses, sitting on top of the ladder. It is a number of positions between 6th and 10th. We've got basically 4 points, 5th and 10th, 4 points separating those teams from the Hard Yakka through to KGC Elite. So these next couple of weeks could...
Yeah, definitely. Plenty of games to go. Could see a lot of shuffling the leaderboard.
Up or down. The Gunners still holding everyone else up with 1 and 8, but they have got that 1 win, so who knows what's going to happen from here on in.
Exactly right. And just a quick mention to the latecomers. As I said, John Evans came on our first episode and said, don't worry about their slow start. They do come late.
Yep.
Matt, they have won 5 out of the last 6 games.
Wow.
So they are definitely coming late.
Right. Nice.
Team Survivor, we've got 5 teams left. Matt, we've got the Gentlemen Golfers.
Yep.
Norfolk and Good, Once Were Legends, Rat Pack, and the Good, Bad and Ugly. There's a bit of a mix of... The Good, Bad and Ugly are the second bottom team, and yet somehow have managed to still be in the Survivor Cup.
Wow.
Do you think they can win it?
Yes.
That's it, 100% yes.
Yeah.
If you're
on them.
You're on them. That's it. Matt's giving the tip, so you're stuffing out, boys. You won't win. Who's hot? We've got 2 guys that have been playing exceptionally well the last 3 weeks. Phil Baker from the Guzzlers, 39 and 32, doing a lot of legwork, both top scores for them. And Roger Davies, 35 and 38 with the Polishers, again, both top scores. Matt, your favourite segment, take us away.
Under the Pump, we'll lead off with a relatively new member, been a member since July last year. Laurie Bignell from Once Were Legends has had scores of 24, 19 and 27. His side's given him 6 months grace for being a new member, but now it's time to lift Laurie. Max Hardy from Hard Yakka, strong performer last year, scores of 27, 35 and 27. Max, your time now, lift. And the second last one, Ray Kennedy from the Moondogs. Great score of 41 points, so he's stiff to be in this segment, but his other 2 rounds of 18 and 28. We need some more 41s, Ray, and less 18s. And the last of the under the pump, it gives me some pleasure actually putting him in this particular segment, and we'll cross to John Nelson from the Guzzlers, who is our last member of Under the Pump. Take it away, John. Here we are with Guzzlers captain, leader, John Nelson. This week we've brought in a special guest for one of our favourite segments of GPL 360. It's Under the Pump.
Beautiful.
We've looked through your couple of last scores, and 28 and 31, not too bad. But on the 11th of May, tell us about your 19.
Yeah, before I go on, Matt, is this going to go viral?
Yeah, well,
it's on YouTube.
It is on YouTube.
So it could go viral.
Could get viral. We sort of say.
Sorry,
not
what is
viral.
It? Not viral.
Yeah, viral.
Well, Mark Hanger told me I could be viral.
You could viral.
Like, I know that's fine.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, before we go on, Matt, it's not about me.
Yep.
It's about the boys. It's about the boys, and I think it's a bit puerile to try and look at individuals. It's a bit like, what's the name of that bloke? Bucksy.
Yep, Bucks, yeah.
It's a bit like poor Bucksy. Bucksy cops it all, and it's not about Bucksy.
Well, it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's not about me. I'd like to... did you see I got my name in the paper the other day?
Is that for your 19 or 19 points?
No, that 19 I sacrificed by going for the team.
You only had.
Well, I have to tell you, why I had 19 was that I was nobbled.
You played 9 holes.
No, I was nobbled.
You're
I'm
not
not going to mention names,
Okay.
but as the guzzlers are,
Yes.
one of the blokes slipped me one of those creatures beers.
Before you went out.
Before I went out, he gave me one of those, what are they called?
Kryptonite.
Little
creatures.
Little creatures.
Yep.
I'm not going to say Ray Cutmore did it deliberately,
Yep.
but I couldn't play after that because I'm a man, I don't like drinking girls' beer.
Yep. So about the team, who would you say was the weak link? Oh, other than you, obviously, because that's why we're doing this segment.
The weak link.
The weak link.
The weak link. Well, really, there's no weak link. The boys have got a lot of potential. It's a bit like, the Dirty Dozen.
Yep.
The Dirty Dozen, the Secret Seven, Renard Blyton.
Yep.
Well, I think these boys are probably the egotistical 8.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Well, like we've got Sam Conlon.
Yes. Well, it was controversial.
We're trying to get rid of him.
Yeah.
He was captain.
And there was a coup, apparently, and now you're the captain.
Well, Sam Conlon keeps turning up to the tee.
Right.
Always late,
Yep.
but he's turning up.
Yep.
That's nothing personal, Sam.
Yeah.
But that's good. I love the way you run down the first green to catch the group you're playing with. That's all right. Don't. No, we've got Mark Hanger, of course.
Yep.
Well, the Cox plates are weight for age. Well, Mark should be 150 with his weight. And then we've got Ricky Dole.
Yeah.
Ricky Dole is very big on.
He'd be up and about at the moment because of the blues, Rick.
Yeah, but mostly he's got a very big Indian influence.
Right.
Yeah, he tries to refer to Ravi Shankar at least 10 times around. He's very good. Yeah, no, he's good. Terry Polton, Terry's good.
Yep.
It's just bad luck. Most blokes hit their pitching wedge as far as he hits his driver.
Right. Okay.
He's trying.
So you do have some natural sort of handicaps.
Oh mate, they're shockers.
But you're going okay. You're 6 and 3.
Yeah.
You're 4th, so you're in the top 4, and you've got a couple of matches in the next 3 weeks with sides that are currently outside the top 8. So
We got the Moondogs or what?
No,
those Moondogs, aren't they shocking?
no, you got the.
They should call themselves the Easy Beats, shouldn't they? And what about those? We've been to IVAC too.
Yeah.
Because there's a team out there calling themselves the Polishes.
Yes.
They're Ukrainians.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Last year's champs.
Mate, and I had a word today. Noxie's had a word. We want to beat them. We broke their heart. We beat them in the round, and Phil Abbott and that other bloke, what's his name? Sean Favalora.
Yeah.
Sean Favalora. Shane, is it?
Shane, yes.
It's a shame, Shane. Just keep away from us. No, Shane. Next year you can't come to the Guzzlers. Sorry.
We could.
Phil Abbott, don't get it. Trevor Rush. You want to be nice too. We got our eye on you, boys. We don't take it easy. Sorry.
So as I said, this is about you because of your poor performance.
The 19.
Well, not necessarily the 19. The last 3 weeks you haven't got in.
I've had a few personal problems.
Right.
Yeah, I don't. I've had. It's been hard.
Okay.
It's been very personal.
Elaborate.
Well,
It's only been shown to.
it's Johnny Evans.
Right. It's got in your head.
He's trying to kiss me all the time.
Disappointing.
It is. Well, Johnny, he's a very ugly man.
Yeah, right.
Very ugly man. Stephen Coe, I wouldn't mind, but not Johnny Evans.
Well, mate.
I think my putting's my strength.
It is.
Yeah, I'm very, very good putter.
Yes.
Very, very, very good putter. Yeah.
Many holes you get to putt.
Matt, that's a bit rude.
So I'm thinking. I'm going back to 19. I'm thinking you haven't putted often.
I think you need to build a bridge, man.
Yeah, right.
You need to build a bridge. A lot of blokes. Once I was on a golf trip, and I shouldn't name names, and I'm not going to name names.
Yep.
But I was on a golf trip to Port Fairy.
Yes.
And one of the blokes on the trip had 9 points.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not going to mention it was Ian Chard because that's a personal thing for all around. And he's a very good player, man.
Yep.
Johnny put in the Guzzlers. Yeah, Graham Craig's playing well lately too.
Well, he was under the pump early. In round 1 or 2, we put him under the pump for him to lift.
That certainly didn't go viral.
Or viral, no.
It didn't, yeah. But you know what we do? The other thing is that we base our game each week on the art of war.
Right.
Art of war, art of war. By that Chinese bloke, one short putt.
Yeah.
And that's we quote art of war. We follow Bob Dylan. We listen to Bob Dylan. And the other night on TV, there's a movie called Chain.
Yep.
And very good. So the boys, a lot of people want to watch Rocky.
Yep.
We watch Shane.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about a cowboy quick on the draw.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. So what next
Had
week?
lovely hair, Shane. Lovely hair. He looked a bit like Adam behind the bar, but that's all right.
So next week, what are you going to do to get back in? Can we expect next week you to be in the top
Oh, yeah, look, I've had a long.
top group of players, so you actually get recognised?
Yeah, I think the Guzzlers are here for the long haul.
Okay, good.
We're here for the long haul.
Yeah.
And I think one of the strengths is with the Guzzlers, we're very honest with each other.
Okay.
We've got a Facebook, Barney Guzzler. Look at the Facebook for Barney Guzzler.
Barney
It's
Guzzler.
worth reading.
Okay, good.
And that's good. We communicate using electronic media all the time.
I see you're pretty active on our YouTube page, which is good.
And I'd just like to say, the next bloke who refers to the old Fitzroy boys as the Bears, it's not funny anymore, all right? It's not funny. Sorry.
Well,
get back to the Guzzlers?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up because we could be talking here all day. Thanks, John.
My pleasure.
We will be referring back to you next week after your next round, which I don't
Mate,
think
it's
is
not
for a
until
couple
June
of
the
weeks.
22nd.
No,
What's
it's
going
June.
on there?
We need a mid-season break. Everyone needs to cool their jets, and we need to relaunch the season 22nd.
Very good, mate. Excellent. Thanks very much.
Thank you for coming in.
My pleasure,
Cheers.
mate. Thanks.
Well, thanks for that, Matt. That was very insightful, and thanks, John, for talking so long.
We had to wrap him up at the end. That could have went for something else.
Matt, that concludes this week's episode. Good luck for the remainder of the season, and I'm sure episode 4 will come out shortly in possibly a brand new format.
Brilliant. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Thanks, members.
Bye.